Hey guys, in this video I intend to cover how to use the world map dashboard and the standard overview dashboards in PBXMonitor. The world map dashboard is one of our newer features, only been out for perhaps a month now, and there's been a lot of questions regarding how to set it up, or more notably, why the icons seem to be just scattered randomly across the map. The reason for that is because there's no way for us to detect where the servers actually are. So you have to actually specify the coordinates for it. And that's easy to do. As an example, we'll go over here to Google Maps, and we've already got a server here that's in the wrong place. It's also the one we're using to test the alerts. So this is what would happen if the PBX had a critical error on it. It would start bouncing. And on a mouse over, you can get its vital statistics and see what it's complaining about. If there is no errors on the PBX, you'll instead see any comment or note that's on the server to help better identify it. And you'll always see this icon on the map. This is the location of your mirror server that's being used to monitor all of your 3CX servers. So how to set the location of each server. Open up Google Maps and zoom in to the location where you want the server to show up. In our case, we'll just pick a random location right here down by this intersection. Zoom in as far as you can and click a spot on the map. Now all you have to do after clicking that spot is come up here to the address bar, and without grabbing the @ symbol or the comma here, grab these coordinates just like you see me doing and copy them. Now for that troublesome PBX that's in the wrong place, we're simply going to come over here to this PBX, which is showing as offline right now because we wanted to demonstrate. We're going to come down here to the map coordinates field, and we're just going to replace the incorrect entry, or if the server has never been given coordinates, it will have just an empty box there. Simply paste in the correct coordinate and hit the enter key on your keyboard. The page reloads, and now, within 30 to 60 seconds, the icon will move to the proper place on the map. Or if you don't want to wait, you can just hit the refresh button. And now you can see that server has moved to the exact spot we chose on the map. Now that you've seen how the error display works on the map, I'm going to go ahead and clear the error on that server, which is simple enough. All I did to make it fail to check in was set it to the incorrect port number. We do a test connection, and it's back online. You will sometimes briefly see a firewall check failed message right after a server's been offline. That will clear itself after a few minutes once it verifies that the firewall is still in a passing state. So if a server has just been offline, you can ignore this and consider it a false positive unless it remains there. Now, as you can see, that server came back online, and it's now showing alive and healthy. Most people have seemed to prefer this map in the night mode, which is what you see here with the dark background. However, for people who may prefer it otherwise, there's also a light version as well, as you can see here. Both options are available on the sidebar under dashboards, world map, light and dark. This map also will auto-center in the average location of all your icons. So when you first sign into your portal, if the map loads into a completely oblivious location relative to where your offices are, don't panic. Once you start correctly assigning your icons, the map will start to shift, and once all of your icons are placed properly, the map will automatically center roughly over the center of all of them, the average position. We do plan to also add a feature where you'll be able to define the starting position of the map, but that's coming in the future. Now, for those who prefer more information and less flair than this nice little map here, we also still have the classic dashboard, which has been around since PBXMonitor first was created, which, as you can see here, this one just gives you the basics of what license type, the status of all the running services, how many hours or minutes since the last backup, what version you're on, and a couple people have asked, why do some version numbers come up in blue here? If the version number comes up in blue, it indicates that that server is running a beta version. If it comes up in yellow or red, it means that you're running behind and you need to get a server updated. Typically if a server is only 1 or 2 versions behind, you'll see it show up yellow here. But if a server is in danger of falling behind far enough that PBXMonitor may no longer support it, or if there is a critical security issue known on an older version, then you will sometimes see that version shown here in red or even pink. Pink is reserved for the most critical of issues, such as if a version is known to have a security issue. And that's our way of saying you should really update this server as soon as possible. Another thing that is new as of the last few months is the operating system icon being indicated here. And for quick reference for network engineers, it will also indicate whether the server appears to be using a NAT firewall or not. If the server is sitting directly on a public IP, you'll see a different icon here. And then this is just an icon that represents what you've set the server as on its settings for cloud hosted, on-premise, or 3CX hosted. If you see this icon, it means that setting was not assigned. A couple of hidden features on this dashboard are you can actually click on the ID number of a server to disable the alarms for it. And you can click it again to turn them back on. Doing it this way only takes effect for 1 hour. So if you were to disable the alarms on this server, after 1 hour, they would automatically turn back on. One more little hidden feature on this page is in the last seen column, if you click on the number of seconds since the server was last seen, PBXMonitor will automatically rescan that server, which is useful if you're waiting for a change to take effect or waiting for a server to come back online after a reboot or some other outage. Hopefully this has been useful to you, and we would love to give you a trial of PBXMonitor if you haven't got one already. Take care, guys. Thanks.